Today at shopdap.com, we talk about upgrading wheels on your Volkswagen or Audi model. Upgrading your wheels is one of the easiest ways to improve the overall look of your vehicle. If you're just getting into cars, this usually leads to intense scrolling through Google Images after searching your model and then the word rims.
Mach 7 rims.
It's time to stop!
Or joining any Facebook group willing to add you and asking, what's the best wheels for my car?
Hey guys, I just got the coolest car. What rims should I buy?
You need to stop everything.
Many people are looking to get the best look they can for the least amount of money. This may lead you to want to keep the same size wheel and just upgrade it, keeping the factory tire size the same. Unless your car came from the factory with pretty large wheels, you're gonna spend a bunch of money upgrading your wheels without tires for an overall look that's not gonna be great. One of my biggest pet peeves is upgrading to larger wheels with skinnier tires at stock ride height. While some cars can pull that off if they're low enough from the factory, most cars will be left with a gigantic wheel gap you could fit a small child in, which is less than an ideal look. If you watch Mighty Car Mods, you're familiar with the shoe test.
Go outside, take off your shoe. If it fits in there, then you need to lower your car.
You know what that's called? That's called science.
Even lowering your car an inch could be enough to get you the exact stance you need to improve the overall look before you upgrade your wheels. When you're referring to wheel size, what you're referring to is the diameter of the wheel. Generally, the size of the wheel that's going to look best in your vehicle is relative to the vehicle you're upgrading. If you're upgrading the wheels on a land yacht, you're gonna want something a little bit bigger than a 17. On a car like that, 20, 21, or even 22s might be a reasonable upgrade for your car. If you're upgrading a small car like a Mark 1 GTI, a 16-inch wheel would be considered a large wheel for that car. On most current model cars, 18s or 19s are going to be a great fit for your vehicle and the average upgrade. When installing larger wheels in your vehicle, you need to decrease the tire sidewall height to allow for the additional wheel diameter that you've added. This will allow the overall rolling diameter of the wheel and tire package to remain the same. This way you don't affect your speedometer. Let's talk about tire size. There are three numbers in the size of a tire. The first number, 225, is the width of the tire. This is from side to side and it is measured in millimeters. The second number, the 45, is the total sidewall height. Now this is not measured in millimeters, this is measured as a percentage of the width of the tire. The third number is going to be the overall diameter of the wheel that's on the vehicle. While that number will always have to be the same as the wheel size of the vehicle, the first two numbers will change depending on the overall diameter that you're trying to reach with your wheel and tire package. If you had a vehicle from the factory with 225, 45, 17 tires and wanted to upgrade to 18s, your tire would then be a 225, 40, 18. If you then wanted to take that same vehicle and upgrade it to 19s, you'd be looking at a 225, 35, 19. Here we have a 225, 40, 18 wheel and tire package. This is a 255, 35, 19 from an Audi S4. Now, if we look at the overall rolling diameters used in a calculator, you can see the Audi wheel and tire package is going to be significantly larger and is going to throw your speedometer off. Now let's talk about wheel offset. Wheel offset is a number that determines how far the wheel sticks out from your vehicle. Pick a number too high and the wheel will be sunken into your wheel well. Pick a number too low and it will be poking out, making people wonder if you intended to do that on purpose. Wheel offset is a number that is measured from the center line of the wheel to where it mounts to the vehicle. To give you some real world examples, let's show you how offset affects wheel mounting. Here we have a Racingline R360 wheel. This is a 19-inch wheel with an 8.5-inch width. This is an offset of 44. This is what the wheel would look like with a 34 offset. This is what it would look like with a 29mm offset. And this is what it would look like with a 24mm offset. Next, let's move on to the Neuspeed RSE 10s. 18 by 8.5 with an offset of 45. This is what it would look like with a 40 offset. This is what it would look like with a 35 offset. This is what it would look like with a 30 offset. And this is what it would look like with a 25 offset. Next, let's look at hub bore. The wheels on your car bolt to the hub of the vehicle. There is a lip at the center of the hub that the wheel sits on. This lip allows the wheel to stay centered and prevent vibration when it's properly mounted on the vehicle. Most VW models use a hub bore of 57.1 millimeters. Many Audi models use a hub bore of 66.6 millimeters, with other models using a larger hub bores. Some aftermarket wheels use larger center bores to allow them to fit more vehicles. This requires hub centering rings, which you can mount in the center to allow your wheel to be centered on your hub. If you attempted to mount this 57.1 millimeter hub bore wheel onto an Audi that had a 66.6 millimeter hub bore, you would not be able to do it because it would be too small to mount over the hub. Failing to use the proper size hub centering rings on the wheels that you upgrade to your vehicle will definitely result in vibration issues that you will never get rid of. The way you would get the correct hub centering rings for your vehicle would be to measure the hub size of your vehicle and then match it to the inner diameter of your hub rings, and then measure your wheel inside hub bore and match that to the outside diameter of your hub rings. This will ensure you have the wheel properly centered on the vehicle. Lastly, let's talk about wheel bolts. We're gonna break this down into bolt pattern and then bolt seat type. These are two very common bolt patterns found on Volkswagen and Audi models. This 5x100 is a previously popular size, whereas the 5x112 has pretty much taken over all current model Volkswagen and Audis. The bolt pattern on vehicles will vary, but the most prevalent one in the Volkswagen and Audi space is 5x112. This means you have 5 bolts in your vehicle, and it measures 112 millimeters from the back of one bolt seat into the center line of the adjacent bolt hole. Failing to purchase the right bolt pattern for your vehicle will result in wheels that do not bolt up to your car. As you can see here, this is a 5x100 wheel on a 5x112 car, so this is a much narrower bolt pattern than it needs to be, so you can see where the difference is in a 5x112 versus 5x100. Bolt seats are important but are often overlooked. To the untrained eye, these may look like the same wheel bolt, but these have very different bolt seats, which are very important for the mounting of your vehicle. This bolt uses a ball seat, whereas this bolt uses a cone seat. The bolt seat is referring to the shape where the wheel bolt actually mounts to the wheel itself. Most factory VW and Audi wheels use ball seat bolts, while many aftermarket wheels use cone seat bolts. Failing to have the proper wheel bolts in your vehicle will result in a serious problem. Many people, when they buy an aftermarket set of wheels and all they have are the ball seat bolts, they'll crank down on them to try to get them to tighten up on the wheel. This often will lead to damage to the wheel and potentially have the wheel loosen up on you even after they've been mounted on the vehicle. So there we have our Wheels 101 for upgrading the wheels on your car. There are tons of great helpful tools out there on the internet, which we will link to in the description, which can help you with different wheels offsets to how they'll affect the overall stance in your vehicle. These are great tools, but may not be the defining factor of what will be the overall best look for your vehicle. While there are tons of places, we sell a large variety of wheels from a variety of manufacturers. They are great options for you to make sure before you purchase, you have a rough idea of how they'll work. The other place you can go is to online forums, which also have great assets for people who have listings of all the different wheels on the same car, or at least you can get an idea of different looks for different wheels. My advice is, if you're looking at a wheel and you like the overall aesthetic, I would Google your make and model with that wheel name and see if you can come up with some pictures of that wheel on your car to allow you to find out the exact wheel that might look good on your car. Thanks so much for watching. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more like it.
Previously on My Strange Addiction, Paul Barrett, owner of Deutsche Auto Parts, has an unbreakable love with wheels.
For those 19 inches or less, nothing else matters.
And his employees are starting to get fed up.
Yo, what's going on down here?
I'm working on fitment.
Dude, I already told you we can't be spending all our money on wheels.
Just one more! Don't worry about it.
It's too big for your fender. You can't even fit it. Why'd you buy it?
It looks amazing. It's gonna be awesome. Don't worry about it.
What's going on here?
Huh?
But unfortunately, as long as Paul has access to all different types of wheels, his disease will never be cured.
There's something about wheels that just calms me down.